Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I am so excited about this recipe. I know my voice doesn't sound excited, but inside I'm really excited. I am going to make a Martha Stewart fruit dessert. It is orange marmalade cake with chocolate frosting. That sounds so good. And this is what the cake looks like. This is the card. So what I did is I got 3 oranges with the meal kit, and 2 of the oranges I used a slicer to take the peel off, and then what I did is I am using a sharp knife, and with the peel I am going to finely chop that, and this is what we're going to make the marmalade with. Okay, so what I did is I took the white, and I think you call it pith or pith, the white stuff on the orange. Try to take all that off and discard it. Then what I'm going to do is cut the oranges in like close as 1/4 inch as you can get. I got my zest in a small saucepan. I'm going to put my oranges in the saucepan with the zest. I'm going to put 2/3 cup of granulated sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and bring it to a boil. Then I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes till it kind of coats the spoon, and this is going to be the marmalade. Okay, so remember, with the zest and the chopped up oranges, both the oranges, I put a 2/3 cup of granulated sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to bring it to a boil, let it simmer 15 to 20 minutes, and you're going to know that it's ready because you're going to cook it and then let it simmer till it gets till it coats the spoon. So let's incorporate this and this is going to be the marmalade, and it's going to be a medium low heat. Any seeds that you see, make sure. You kind of want to do that when you're chopping up the oranges, but I will inspect it again. And so you don't have to add anything because the oranges make the juice, so you don't have to put water or anything. So we're gonna let that come to a boil, and then we're gonna let it simmer. Okay, I had to turn on my little ring light because it was too dark. So the 3rd orange, what I did, I didn't peel it. I just sliced it and then cut it in half. And now I'm going to make the cake part of the recipe. Okay, so now I put 3/4 sugar into a bowl, granulated sugar, and 6 tablespoons of softened butter. Now usually it comes eight in a stick, it comes 8 tablespoons, so just take away 2 and you'll have the 6. And you're going to do that until the butter and the sugar turn pale and fluffy. Okay, now that the sugar and butter is light and fluffy, add 3 eggs, one at a time. Now, if your recipe does not say what size egg to use, always use large. Use large unless your recipe says otherwise. Okay guys, remember those orange slices that I cut up? Here they are. So I'm going to caramelize them. So I'm going to put 1 1/2, I think it's a half, I'll correct myself after I check, of sugar. Okay, that's a tablespoon. Let's see. Yeah, it did say a half. You can put a little less if you want. Didn't say flip them over. I'm waiting for my marmalade to cool. So I'm going out of step with this, but that's okay. I don't want to put my hot marmalade into my cake batter. Okay guys, let me show you a trick to see if your marmalade is set. Chill a plate. I got a glass plate. This has been sitting for a little bit, but let me put some into and tilt it. Now if it runs fast, that means it needs to set for a while. So I'm going to see it runs down the plate too fast, so I'm going to let it simmer some. Okay, now guys, I am going to add 6 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of mascarpone, and that's like it has cream and citrus acid, milk, salt, it's a cheese kind of consistency. Let's see. Let me see. See, it's like a I don't know, like a cream cheese kind of consistency. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons. Of that. Yikes. I probably should have stirred it first. And you know what? I'm going to save some of that mascarpone and use it like cream cheese on a bagel. I'm going to have a lot of marmalade left, and so I'm going to use that with the biscuits or whatever, just like my jam or my preserves. I'll use it like that. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I know I have some somewhere. Come on, come on. Here we go. I'm going to use what? A teaspoon of that. Shake it up a little bit. I'm gonna eyeball it a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to use both of my packets, okay, of sour cream. Oops, I squirted that all over the place. No, don't do that. It popped like a pimple. Yeah, that's not a pleasant thought. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of my cake to kind of bring that temperature down, a little bit more of my marmalade. Okay, and then put it back there. My marmalade, I wanted to cool off, but it wasn't cool enough. So I just added a little bit of the cold or the cool batter. And then I'm going to mix the wet ingredients until smooth. Okay, now my dry ingredients, and it didn't say sifted, guys, but I'm going to run it through this strainer just one time. I'm going to run it through this, and that's my baking powder, my flour, and my salt. Okay, I'm going to do half and half. No need for milk because we put the mascarpone and the sour cream, the eggs, and so that's all the dairy that we need. I did half. And then I'm going to come in with the other half. Just once. Whatever cakes I make, I always run the flour through a sifter or either that strainer. And then we're going to mix it again. Oops. So what I'm going to do is scrape the sides. Just stir it up a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of lump in it because of the zest. But let me show you a trick that I learned long time ago. And some people say nothing's to it, but I swear by it. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get a cup or something, a glass or plastic container. I want to show you something. Okay. And I know some of the people, old school people, you know exactly what I'm going to do with a cup and putting some water in it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of batter. You know, just a little bit. It could be like a fourth of a teaspoon. You know, and I'm gonna Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of batter. If it floats, it's going to be a light cake. If it goes to the bottom, it's going to be dense. We don't want a dense cake, guys. Okay, so let's see. See? It floats. It floats. A little bit of batter. So that tells you it's going to be a light cake. That's what we want. Okay guys, I prepared an 8-inch cake. It's gonna make one cake and not a 2-layer cake, 1-layer cake. It said just put oil, but I don't trust it. I put some flour and kind of just put it in the middle and just, you know, did it around like that. But I'm gonna put all this in there. Oh, and guys, I taste this batter and it is so good. Guys, add mascarpone to your pound cakes, to your cakes. And put all that in there. Now, this cake pan is a little high than usual. I took cake decorating classes, and sometimes I don't decorate them very pretty, but I got all these different sizes of cake pans. Then people wanted me to make cakes for them, you know what I mean? And if you use good ingredients, a cake, especially if you're making it for a crowd, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. And people did not offer to pay me until I told them I couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden they will pay me. Well, you know, I don't work like that. And then afterwards, you know, they would have an attitude that I didn't say, no, you know, I'll do it. No. Unless I tell you this is a gift, don't assume it. You know, don't assume it. Because not only did I have to buy ingredients for the cake, but a lot of times I use fondant. And you cake makers will know what fondant is. And I would make my fondant most times by scratch. And then the time it took and then you had to let the fondant in order for it to be pliable. You never use your fondant the same day you make it. A couple of days really makes your fondant easier to handle, especially when you're making flowers or different designs, and just period. It molds better. It's pliable to the cake. It doesn't fall apart. If you use the same day, you know, it's like you're taking the fondant and fill it in places. Nobody got time for that, guys. Anyway, I'm going to put this in the oven for 325. Remember those cake the orange slices that I made and put flour on. I'm going to put that on the lowest third of the oven, and I'm going to put my cake in the middle. So we're going to cook them together, and we're going to cook them for about, let's see, 40 to 50 minutes, but at 40 I'm going to time it. Now remember, when you're making cakes, and this is across the board, remember when your cake pan is dark, you want to lower the temperature at least 25 degrees, and most times the recipe will tell you. This is a lighter colored pan, so we can go on and use the 325 for 40 to 50 minutes. So I'll be back, and I'm going to make the frosting. Okay, now guys, I am going to make the frosting from scratch. Okay, so we have the confectioner sugar, or people refer to it as powdered sugar, mascarpone. In the frosting, guys, this is going to make a difference in that taste. We're going to use a little bit of salt, like a 4th teaspoon of salt. We're going to use a tablespoon of the vanilla, and here is the cocoa powder. It came already, it already prepared, measured, but you can get these ingredients and make your own frosting. It is nothing like homemade frosting. So first we're going to combine the sugar, the cocoa, and the butter. And this is 8 tablespoons, and that equals a 1/2 cup. So here we go. Shake this down. I should have this open. We're going to put the confection in, and this is just going to be this is good for 1-layer cake. Okay, and we're going to put the cocoa powder and the butter. Cocoa powder got in my throat. Okay, we're going to put all of this, a 1/2 stick. This is going to be 8 tablespoons or 1/2 cup. I want all of that butter. I don't leave any on the wrapper. Okay, we're going to use tablespoon of vanilla. I'm going to eyeball it. It might be a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm going to use a 4th teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to eyeball it. And we're going to use the rest of the rest of the mascarpone. I'm telling you guys, the mascarpone, one of the key ingredients to a great chocolate frosting. Like I said, I put it on my bagels, but that's just me. A little bit of mascarpone trying to get away from me. Not El Capone. If you forget what you're looking for, just think of El Capone, mascarpone. Because this frosting's gonna be gangster. Alright, I take that back, forgive me. That was a little bit corny. And I'm gonna whip it all together. Start off slow and just increase it because you want the frosting. You want it to be smooth. Bring it up a notch. My cake is still in the oven, along with some orange slices. Let me cut this off. And guys, if you want to switch it from orange to lemon, just get the lemon slices, do the same. Make sure the white part's not in the marmalade. Use lemon extract, or me, when I make lemon cakes and stuff like that, I use lemon oil, like the kind for candy, and I use a few drops. Now, if you ever see me cooking and I put a lot of that lemon oil, is I'm making it for someone else and they love it. So, you know, when I made a cake a little while back, and I deleted the comment because, you know, you don't come over here and telling me what to do. But anyway, because I know what I'm doing. And I'll let you know when I make a mistake. That's me, you know, but basically I know what I'm doing. But that person likes a lot of lemon oil. So I used, it comes in a little thing about, let's see, like that little tiny little jar. And they have different flavors, you know. I've never seen the, you know, some flavors I haven't seen, but they have lemon, they have peppermint, they have orange. I could have put a little bit of orange oil in this, but I kind of forgot. But anyway, it really gives it a lemony or orange or pepperminty. But whatever the oils they have for candy, you know, and you don't need a lot. But like I said, if you ever see me doing different from the recipe, or, oh, she sure is adding a lot, it's because I'm making it for a particular person. And I'm telling you one thing, because you may not like that oil, but I'm doing the way the person I'm making the cake for likes. How they like it. To that smart Alex that made that comment. No, don't come for me. Don't come for me. Like I tell people, I'm saved. I'm not soft, so don't come for me. Okay, let's get positive. Okay, let me taste a little bit of that. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's good. That's good. So I'm going to wait for the cake is done, and then there's nothing else to do but let the cake cool off, frost the cake, and it's only one layer. Frost the cake, arrange the I want to say candied lime slices. Let me see how they said it. Caramelized. It's referred to caramelized orange. So I'm going to arrange that as a decoration. And then you're supposed to let it set for at least 30 minutes. So everything can set. Let it set for 30 minutes before you serve and eat it. So anyway, I'll be back with my cooled off cake ready to frost. Thank you. While I have everyone's attention, I hope, let me show you another thing that I do. Do you guys ever get cakes where the middle is just humped up like a mountain, lopsided cakes or whatever? I buy this. I got these from the craft store. And it's long like this because you can use it for different size cakes. And you just wet this. You wet this, and you kind of dip it in the water, wet it real good, and then take your 2 fingers and slide it to get all the excess water out. And then you wrap it around the cake as many times, make sure it's secure as many times as you can. It comes with a pin, or if you can't find, if you can't find a pin like this that comes with it, with a little thing on the end, look like a little antenna. And then you take it and you take the pin, you go through the material. You can go like this, stick it in and bring it out the other side. Or if it's easier, just go this way. I would go this way and stick it through. Okay, and what that does, it kind of leads the cake to rise evenly with the moisture around the pan, and it helps to, you won't have those big mountains on your cake, and you have to take a knife or a cake cutter, depending on what you have, and slice that top off, especially if you're making it for your loved ones, or even if you make wedding cakes. I'm telling you, if you make wedding cakes, I'm sure you know this, because wedding cakes are hard, in my opinion. But anyway, I just want to show you another tip. Okay, guys. Here's my cake. Doesn't that look beautiful? Some people put a toothpick or straw, something, toothpick is preferable, in the middle, and it comes up clean as done. But you know what I also do? When the cake separates itself from the pan, that'll also let you know it's done. So I'm going to let that cool off for about 15 minutes and then take it out of the pan, and then I'll let it cool off completely before I put the frosting. So there you go, guys. Remember, if it separates from the pan, you can see a little gap. That also lets you know the cake is done. My mama taught me all that, guys. My mama taught me. Okay, my cake is nice and full, and my frosting is ready to go. Nice and fluffy. So what I'm going to do, You can do it either way. You can do the tops or the sides first. It's so creamy. You can make it fancy, or you can just slap it on there and eat it. Remember, you're gonna wait 30 minutes before you cut and serve, so everything will set. So I'm just going to frost it, and I'll be right back. Now those caramelized oranges with the peel on, you can eat them. You can put them on the cake, you can eat the rest. Not bad, they're not bad at all. I am just going to use them for decoration. The ones that didn't burn. And I'm just going to place them right there. And that's it. That is it. That's my orange marmalade cake with chocolate frosting. And one more step, and that's to eat it. And I'll be back. I'm going to slice me a piece, and I'll let you know. Okay, there you go. I frosted it. I put frosting on the cake. I'm going to wait 30 minutes so everything will set. Let me just show you this. This is the lemon oil. See how little it is compared to, oh, I got chocolate in my nails. See how little it is? You only need a few drops unless you prefer more. But for myself, I only put about 2 or 3, and depending on who I'm making it for, I might use half of it, but normally this little bottle right here will last you for a little while. So I'm gonna let it set, and I'll come back and I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, I am going to slice me a piece. Try not to get too greedy. That's too big. Not really. So let's see. That's good, guys, if I say so myself. That is so good. Well, there you go. That's the orange marmalade cake with chocolate frosting. Great with a glass of milk, cup of coffee, cup of tea, or just some water. Before I go, let me just thank some special people who have prayed for me through this difficult time. I don't really want to talk about it. It's not my fur babies. It's something else that happened, and maybe I'll feel comfortable enough to share it at a later time. But right now I don't. Just know that I appreciate your prayers, you guys. I could feel them. I could feel the days that everybody's just coming and praying for me. So thank you so much, and I'll be back with another recipe, another video. Staying busy does help. I did have to take some time off, but staying busy helps. So I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your week, and try this recipe. Try this recipe. If you want me to put in the description area the ingredients and step by step, let me know, or you can just watch this video. So until then, I thank you so much, and again, have a great week.